All right, guys, Levi Trumbull reporting. So sometimes you get sued, but sometimes you really get sued. I want to talk to you today about a local case happening here in Frederick County, Maryland. This case in particular is one of the largest civil cases that I have ever seen filed in this jurisdiction, and we're going to go over it a little bit today. So that would be none other than Susan Maharaj versus Smith Ballooning LLC. Now, before we get into the specific details surrounding this case, I just want to state for the record that this litigation was filed back in April of 2021, and there has almost been this constant filing of motion after petition after pleading continuously since this case has been filed. And here we are in January of 2024, and this case is set to actually go to trial, this civil case, on January 8th, so just a couple days. But I want to talk about the details surrounding this case. So back in April 2021, Susan Maharaj filed this litigation against this hot air balloon company, claiming that the hot air balloon was actually invading the home's privacy, invading her family's privacy by flying this hot air balloon over top the residence. She also claimed that this hot air balloon made a extremely loud and annoying, obnoxious sound when it was being fired up. Now, if you've ever seen a hot air balloon, they blow flames up into it to try to get the balloon off of the ground. So she claims that this is torturous and a nuisance, and she is seeking injunctive relief from the Frederick County Circuit Court in order to get this hot air balloon company to stop what she alleges is invading her privacy and to stop causing an annoyance to her personal life. And since this lawsuit has been filed, there have been 4 amended complaints, a litany of motions, a litany of discovery. There has been depositions back and forth, and it has just been almost scorched earth litigation. I mean, truly scorched earth litigation. The trial was postponed several times, and actually they even tried to postpone the trial for the January 8th start date, but the judge actually just denied that, and the trial will be commencing here shortly. The defendants in this case claim that the plaintiffs have no regulation over air travel and over the skies and the air in general. They say that it's federally regulated and that the plaintiff has no business trying to regulate that and or trying to tell the plaintiff how he should run his hot air balloon business. Another interesting thing about the case is that on 2 separate instances, issues were brought before the circuit court that were ultimately decided in favor of one party, but would ultimately be taken up to the appellate court of Maryland. So that happened on 2 instances. Now, as I said earlier, this case is expected to start on January 8th after 2.5 years of rigorous litigation. We're talking about one of the most voluminous cases that really I have ever seen in my life. We're talking about tens and tens of thousands of pages of paperwork just flying everywhere. It seems like the case and the claims that are being brought before the court are very original in that this is not something that you see every day. Not every day do you have a case that involves a hot air balloon. So I think for that reason alone, with the judges who are handling the case, they can have difficulty with trying to apply the law when there is no case precedent as it relates to these types of aircraft. So this is going to be a civil case in which a jury trial is going to hear the case, and they are going to hear arguments back and forth as to whether what this hot air balloon company is doing is proper or not. They're going to be the ones who ultimately decide whether or not this is a reasonable claim for the plaintiffs to bring. Now, when I look at this whole situation from a 1,000-yard view, I sort of have a hard time understanding how it is they can bring a successful claim on the matter when in fact there's no one person who generally regulates the air travel, the sky. The sky is something that is free and open for all of us. So I don't know how they're going to thread that needle that the defendants in this case, this hot air balloon company, does not have the right to travel or to fly above their house. I think that's going to be quite a difficult avenue for the plaintiffs to try to prove. They might do it, I don't know, but I think it'll be difficult to say nonetheless. I also think that when you look at the issue of noise, I think that is generally easier to establish a claim, to be able to prove a claim. Again, I don't know. So far, a lot of the exhibits that we have seen, of course, they're not video exhibits submitted. We have a lot of pictures. We have a lot of things that are being claimed that are torturous. But again, these will be matters for a jury to decide. So they will definitely be doing that. So with that, we will keep this audience up to date as to what actually happens with this trial, which again is commenced to begin next week. Obviously a very unique case, a very original case, not one that I don't think anyone has ever really seen before with these set of facts, with these particular circumstances. So it will be interesting to see what the jury finds and how it is they render their verdict with this case. But like I said, a very unique one, and one that the jury will have full control over. So with that, Levi Trumbull reporting in Frederick County, Maryland, and we will keep you guys abreast of the situation. Talk to you.